Greetings. I'm Shaman Wendi. I'm also Wendy Morrison of the band This Fascination, Mercury 5, and Neptune's Daughter. Those were all three of my projects. And I'm also W. Morrison, the cult filmmaker, creator of the film This Is Not Dying. Needless to say, I'm an artist. Anyway, I had some really interesting experiences in the last week after being turned on to a couple of really prescient artists, and I wanted to share some amazing visions and downloads and information and observations and predictions. How about that? Anyway, here I go. In the early 90s, coming out of what was an interesting time in the 80s, coming out of the Bush-Reagan era and the drug cartel and all of our activism with respect to human rights, and we moved into the 90s. And musically, the 90s brought us out of, like the glam rock period where commercial rock was just it, it was just all the big hair bands, into reality. Because the 80s was really about like kind of self-discovery. Everybody was branching out musically into this explosion of colors and palettes to orchestrate amazing new hybrids, and it was kind of like wide open, and rap was walking right alongside everything else, and growing and growing. And it wasn't a big surprise to me coming out of rock, and my roots were more California, Beach Boys, Eagles kind of vocal harmonics mixed in with the dark, sultry, discordant melodies of like English rock. So that was where I was coming from. But I was also playing with a lot of different colors and textures. I was doing, bits of rapping in my stuff because I have very syncopated phrasings, phrasing patterns, and so rap really was lending itself to me to follow that inner voice. And I'm a punk rocker in my soul. I'm definitely not somebody that wants to follow rules unless I think they're necessary. So anyway, but I can totally remember musically from a very early age. I was introduced to Bowie by my mom, like I was 11 years old, and that was when Bowie was kind of breaking big. He'd been around for a while, and I was just like, oh yeah, this is where I'm heading. Anyway, but the 90s offered us this moment to really examine ourselves and to look at the refuge, at the wreckage. Look at what our society was bringing about, and the fractionization of families and identities and roles, and so I think that the children, of that era were beginning to really reflect that in art. And so the 90s brought us this mixture now. Now we were hybriding like punk and goth and rock and pop and rap and then along came Nirvana, along came Kurt Cobain, and Nirvana in its entirety was brilliant. Dave Grohl now continues to be brilliant, and if you've never checked out his work with Queens of the Stone Age, I highly suggest it. His drum work, yeah, wow. But in any event, Kurt Cobain was a unique individual, and for whatever reason, he was the chosen one. And there could have been many chosen ones, but he had the right, and I don't want to say right like as if it was meant to happen, but he had the right formula for the moment of character. His background, his upbringing, his pain, the way he expressed his pain, the way his intelligence and creativity and brilliance manifested in ways that may have, been perceived as a little challenging for some, but then others it was just the greatest relief in the world to hear somebody stripping away the veneers and screaming out that things were fucked up. And coming from LA and the art scene, and I was already doing that for a decade professionally on the scene. And so this moment brought together this new collective of voices that embodied what was to be known as emo core or emo rock. And it was just like another variance, another mixture, another recipe, of thoughts and ideas and expressions and pain and whatnot. And it was the right thing for the right moment, and everybody just identified with the lyrical expressions, the poetry, the pain, all of it, and exalted, Kurt Cobain, who was still, weighted by so much, and the business is a fucking vampire. So, they pretty much tore him apart, and he was surviving, man. He was overcoming it. He was evolving. He was growing. He was becoming a warrior, and I'm pretty sure they took him out. I'm an empath. I'm an indigo. I've been hiding in plain sight all of my life here. Been fully woke. Never went to sleep, so it's been extremely painful. I've been waiting for this moment forever. But I was one of the early I don't want to say trendsetters, let's say pioneers. I was one of the early pioneers, with the punk movement that was evolving that voice of anger and disharmony directed at the system. And I might point to Sinead O'Connor, who was one of the first women, brave soul, who's been unfortunately targeted her whole career for it. But she was discovered by Bono, the ultimate sellout. Monsanto calling you, Bono. Anyway, and it's like, he just brought her to the sacrifice. She tried, in her way, the fragile tiny thing that she was, the brave, fierce lioness that she is, all of it. But the voice of the woman was really still being suppressed. They just wanted the pretty little girls to just sing sweet love songs. And that's kind of what happened with my career, is that I was opening up for bands, System of a Down and Tool and Primus and Incubus, Weezer, And but I was doing something that was very different, and everybody agreed it was cool, but the labels were really not going to let it go through. I mean, I was offered deals. Oh, don't get me wrong. I was totally offered I was offered anything, but just not what I was doing and what I wanted to do. They were not prepared to have a woman do that yet. Yet. So, so they killed the messenger, and off we went into the beginning of stripping away individual self-identity through art. Because you know what? Art is the most powerful tool that we have. It's more powerful than any politician. Artists have more power than the politicians. We are only as pure as we allow ourselves to be. So if you take their money and you buy into their bullshit, you are owned, and they will suppress you. So people like myself who say, fuck you, you can't have me, even though you're offering me everything, but you're not offering me, and I can't go with that. That's why this moment is really incredible, because once they put that dissonant voice to sleep, by killing the messenger, Kurt Cobain. They ushered, first of all, they killed analog studios. They ushered in digital, which is their frequency net bullshit. And then on top of it, the TV was pumping your brains full of American Idol. No originality, no authenticity, just a bunch of clones, and feeding you fake, 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 fake tits, fake ass, fake, face, lips, everything, Botox, like, like bling bling when you're poor as shit, like fancy cars when, you can't even, like, whatever. And then the media, the TV, on top of that was like, I am no prude, baby. I get it. I've been there. I'm a happy camper with my sexual self-identity. However, when you're seeing just mainstream TV pimping, like, the level of demoralizing crap, I'm not even gonna, like, name it, that I was beginning to see, because I am a visionary and I'm programmed towards, like, propaganda and information and discerning and researching and all that. Oh, that's just like how I'm wired. I'm like a, stellium of Virgo, stellium of Virgo in the 12th house, which just means I just, like, I get into it. I see it. I understand what's behind the scenes, the subtext. And I knew what they were doing. I knew that they triggered the New World Order, and it was a slow rollout. My God, I can't believe how slow it was rolling out. And so that was the 90s, and here we are now, and now they're, like, in our face with it. And the moment has arrived, kids, when we have our new, I would never slime somebody with the reference of Messiah, okay? Kurt Cobain didn't want to be the quote-unquote Messiah, but in a way he was. He was the chosen one. It was a big burden to him, and he took that to heart. The more successful he got, the more frustrated he got, because he, felt that he was selling out, and God bless him, he didn't. He never sold out. He just evolved. He continued to evolve until they stopped that. But in any event, so after all this fake American Idol, Voice, whatever, blah, 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 all the crap we've been pumped with, everybody's starving. There's a whole generation that doesn't even understand what music and artistry is really about, what the sonics of engineering and production or sparse, experimentation, like, whatever. It just was put to sleep. No exploration. No, yeah, like no creativity. Just suppression. Look to others, look to others, look to others. Obey, obey, obey. Do this. See, we got a carrot over here. Go get the carrot, you know? What the fuck? So now, 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 we be woke. Like I'm not alone anymore. I'm not alone anymore. It's incredible. It's the most incredible thing ever. I waited decade after decade after decade for this moment, and it's here, kids. So fear not. Fear not. Oh no. And the greatest part is that we have our new chosen ones that are here to inspire us, not lead us. I would never put that weight upon them. God bless them. I spray their whole energetic sphere with white light, white golden light every second from the minute I was introduced to them. They are blessed. They are warriors. God, I'm going to cry. They are the warriors that are going to inspire us with the truth, because they're not going to back down. They're in your face. They are going to be in your face. They have been in your face. They've been pushed down. They've been gaslighted. They've been targeted. They've been ripped to shreds. And I know all about that. And when you come back from that, you are so dangerous, because they can't take you anymore. They can't take you down, because you are the strongest soul ever. And then you need to align yourself with those that will have your back. And Nova Rockefeller and Tom McDonald are these kiddos. Nova, baby, she is amazing. Fierce. My God, that little sweet thing is fierce. She's a badass. She reminds me of myself. I know that sounds so cliche, but it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy, because I carried the torch as far as I could. And it's not like I stopped fighting. I'm still targeted and gaslit all the time. And, my body of work precedes the internet just by, a breath. And so there's just not, what I've done, who I am, is kind of, it doesn't really matter. It's not what I came here for. I didn't come here for this self-gratification. I didn't come here for the ego stroke. I didn't come here to be a rock star and a millionaire, to have millions of fans and bling bling. That was never my intention. My intention was to activate the masses. Activate the masses out of slavery. Humanity has been enslaved, kids. And this is the moment. And they can't suppress it anymore. Each time they've gone through a wave of suppressing it and just putting that thing back to sleep for a while, we come back stronger and larger and more massive. And now it's here. And so what it takes is for all of y'all to be warriors. And I mean with heart, with soul, with truth. Understand that the enemy is out there, and you cannot let them within. Our neighbors, our friends, our community, we are not enemies. We are all in this together. We have all been oppressed and suppressed and silenced and violenced and deprived, manipulated, raped. All of us. All of us. So while this moment is upon us and growing, I just wanted to take this moment to offer you, because it's going to blow up even bigger and bigger. It's already blown up in less than a week. But I'm telling you, Nova Rockefeller and Tom MacDonald, they are the divine feminine and masculine. They are the twin souls. They are the integration. They are the representation of the integration of the balance within each one of us, and then magnetizing the balance of the next level, which is partners. And then that continues to expand and grow outward exponentially. This is what magnetization is about, not polarization, but magnetization. This is what unity is. This is what empowerment is. This is what ascension to the fifth dimensional and multidimensional reality is. We are all brothers and sisters here. We are here in a family, Earth family, all of us. And it's okay if we have disagreements. It's okay, we can argue, we can debate. It's beautiful, we have to. I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to be me. I have struggled my whole life to authentically remain who I am. And I'm not going to change now. I am a punk rocker, and you can never take that away from me. You cannot control me. You cannot do anything that will oppress me. Because I am a sovereign being. I am an indigo. I came here to shift a paradigm. I didn't come here to make friends and play games and go to parties. I came here to do good work, hard work, to activate, to inspire, and to change this reality, this prison system, into a place where we can all flourish in a co-creative experience that nourishes our soul and nourishes the planet. And it's all happening now. Go listen to Nova, go listen to Tom, and share, share, share. We are family. These are the kids that are putting themselves out there front line. Front line. They deserve serious props. They are brilliant. They own themselves. They create themselves. I freaking cannot tell you how blessed it is for me to have discovered them. Thank you, Nova. Thank you, Tom. And thank you to Nova's brother, Terry, for engineering. Great job. What makes this album so amazingly stellar is that it's pure. And it's derived of a transformational wounded healer template, which is completely in line with the dark night of the soul that the collective is experiencing at this moment. Nova embodies the, the wounded feminine, and her divine masculine has pulled her through, and she, with Tom, has balanced that. Yes, this is true. But as an artist, she's bringing to the table a skill set and ownership of that skill set, right? So that's like incredible. Like, her marketing strategies are brilliant. They're 4D chess moves for sure, which is exactly the way it should be done. Everything should be used, resourcefully and purposefully, and there can't be excess. You can't. And the more people that get involved, the more, sullied the artistry and the implementation of how it's presented becomes. So the fact that Nova and Tom do everything, it's just brilliant. And they own themselves, they do it all, is brilliant. I know it's a lot of work. You guys have no idea, but that's what's so fabulous about their co-creation, is that they're doing this together, and that's their life, and it's beautiful. We are all inspired watching it, that's for damn sure. But the album itself is brilliant. Hey You is an anthem. Okay, it's a damn anthem. And uh, the cut, oh my God, I can't think of it because I've only heard it once, but it's the cut where she's forgiving her family, or forgiving the ancestry, um, and explaining the personal stories. That's what makes, again, what she's doing with what they're doing with their storytelling. They're telling the other version of the wounded warrior. The Black community without doubt has been wounded for eons, but again, I want to say we all have. These are the elites that try to divide us into thinking that, like, they're the enemy. The other guy's the enemy, the one that doesn't look like you. And so what Tom and Nova bring together, um, or are bridging, I should say, is that bridge both musically into kind of a new hybrid. I totally dig that Nova is into, 90s emo core. It's obvious, and Tom's Led Zeppelin references and different musical references, brilliant, love it, dig it. But at a time when we're so divided, they really are metaphorically this bridge to a new level of self-expression, a new implementation of how that goes down, in a strategic way, and ownership and all that, sovereignty. But it just in every way, they are expanding us and uniting us. And Nova's offering, uh, Scared of Heights, is a beautiful collection of work. I liken it to going to see a painter and they have a new exhibition at a gallery, and you go, and each painting is its own story, it's its own masterpiece. And that's and artistry, and that's what Nova's created, for sure. And Tom, and if you don't know anything about these kids, go. I'm not going to tell you about their background. I want you to go explore their background, because it's public knowledge, and that's why they are so inspiring. Their personal stories, and again, together, the new narrative that they're creating, both artistically and personally in their lives, with each other, having found each other, um, and that what that inspires for all of us, the unity that inspires personally, with regard to each of us, and our desire for love and loyalty and creativity. But what that does to the larger picture here, in bringing communities together that are all crying out in the same pain. We've all been victimized, but we cannot be victims. And we have to maintain emotional balance if we're going to fight the real oppressors. And it's a psychological war that's going on. This isn't about a party. It isn't about a race or a gender. This is about humanity versus pretty much the machine, the system. And it's not even about capitalism. It's way beyond that. It's way beyond that. Capitalism, just like everything else, is a tool. you know. But if you think socialism and you think free everything is super cool, hard work is super cool because it builds your character. And you can see these two have incredible character. And it's in their art, it's in the production. Oh, love the changes. I just everything. But yes, Gang Gang is a bridge in so many ways. I can't even begin to express it. So, okay, I'm shutting up finally. Bye.